So moving on to some of the challenges, I've talked a lot about technology and what impact that's had. And I thought a good way to sort of summarize the impact was to look at one of those segments that I mentioned earlier, that was agency. So I borrowed this slide from our marketing department, and I won't go through all the detail here, but this backs up a lot of what Andrew was saying. You know, essentially advertising is moving from print to digital, maybe not as fast as some people had predicted, but that's not a surprising trend. That means that campaigns require different types of content, as I mentioned earlier. More storytelling, more video being used. Broadcasting and commercials are much more about engagement with the audience, more about pulling them in than the bowling ball analogy, which is a perfect analogy. And because of those different, actually you stole my thunder, definitely on this bit. But because of those different media platforms, I think one of the big challenges for agencies now is that you have to have a higher level of consistency in what you're saying about the business, and your branding and your visual sort of approach has to have consistency because it's appearing in all these different places. And it's not a sort of an intermittent message, it's always on in all those different places, and so there does need to be a lot more sort of continuity. So one of the other things that the marketing guys gave me with this slide, which, you know, essentially the conclusion would be that, you know, we have to create, there's a greater volume of work going out and shorter lead times. But there are some pretty amazing statistics in here about what happens online in 60 seconds. And I suppose some of the more interesting ones for our business would be 6,500 images added to Flickr, which equates to 9.5 million images a day, 1,500 blog posts a minute, 700,000 individual search queries, and 600 new video postings every day. The other one on here that made me laugh was 100 new LinkedIn accounts created every day, and I know that because they all end up in my inbox. So what does it mean for us? Well, means we have to evolve our products for sure to meet different kinds of needs these days, different ways of working, different ways that customers are having to work. We have to target new types of customers that we've never worked with before. And it means that we have to work to improve the ease with which customers can use our content and products. So the copyright issue, I'm not going to go into it massively here, but essentially, you know, what we were finding with our photographers that were making, you know, a good living in the 90s anyway, I think they were beginning to feel, you know, that their work had lost its relevance, their earnings were going down, but, you know, a lot of them started to find out that their work was appearing online, but they weren't getting asked for permission to use that content. So I know there are a lot of things going on at the moment, working with the government to try and work things out over copyright, but I think it is going to be a sort of a big issue going forward. And we're certainly making progress, but it's obviously, you know, the intellectual property issue is going to be a big one. And I think it's an obstacle if you're a small business and you're creating that kind of product. You know, someone said earlier, you know, where do you get the confidence from to